If I see you making videos about how your kids won't have a Thanksgiving this year because you're about to lose your SNAP benefits, but you have your hair done, your nails done, your lashes done, your lips done, and your forehead is frozen as well, then it has nothing to do with the fact that you're losing these benefits and you can't feed your kids. It's just that your kids aren't your priority. I am sick of hearing this narrative. Now, do SNAP benefits affect a certain portion of the population for people who genuinely need these benefits? Yes. And I feel awful for those people. But my thing is, the amount of people who are on our benefit system through the government that genuinely need it because they have no other way of providing food and a shelter and benefits for their kids, it is such a small amount of people. Such a small amount of people. The majority of the people who are riding this system have been doing it for life, and they don't know anything else. They don't know any other way to live life other than to live off of government assistance benefits.
I'm going to be honest. I have never seen a person get off of government assistance. It's almost like a drug. It's almost like a plague. I have never seen a person voluntarily remove themselves from government assistance, whether that be, yo, I started my business and I'm cool. I've seen people start businesses, and when they start those businesses, the businesses blow up, they do really good or whatever. And so they then figure out how it is that they don't have to report so that they can still stay on government assistance. I've seen business owners that are migrants. I don't know if they were legal or not, and they ran Chinese food restaurants, and they used government benefits and assistance to get a lot of their stuff from Sam's Club and Costco that they use to actually cook up the food that they then sell to other people inside of their restaurant. I've seen people on government assistance since I was younger, and if the government didn't kick them off because they got remarried to a person that actually is making a decent income, then they would have stayed on it, and they will tell you that they would have stayed on it. So I don't see people making the best decision for themselves to remove themselves from government assistance. I see people tying themselves to it and never getting off of it. I know people that had been on government assistance since I was little. And until I disassociated myself and just grew up and became, whatever it is that I am as a man, they had been on government assistance and they had been on Section 8 the whole time. And this isn't just to government assistance. This is also to people that are on housing, government housing. I've never seen a person move out of government housing unless they were forced to, right? Or unless it became so bad that they were then influenced by other people. I remember we were younger, and I was in a church, and we would see people come to church, right? And it's so tripped out. I'm going to tell you a story. And it was guys that lived in the projects and government assistance, and they had kids, right? And I'm telling you a true story. And so what happened is they came in, and so, we would befriend them, and we would, be there for them and stuff like that as a community, as a church and stuff. And so they would become more integrated into what was going on. And so eventually, as you befriend people, you naturally start to, hey man, so what's going on? What's your life like or whatever? And so you hang out and stuff like that. And one time we actually went to this one guy's house, and it was in the hood. I mean, it was in the projects. And I was like, yo, what are you paying? Like, why do you stay here? Because they was trying to big it up like, yo, y'all living crazy. You living in a great space or whatever like that. And they had a job and all of this stuff. And a lot of the money that they was making is under the table. And I said, man, why do you stay here? And the reason that he said that he stayed there was because it was in somebody else's name, and they only had to pay like $75 a month to stay there. So it was cheaper to just stay there and live the life that they wanted. And they was fresh as hell. Like, they was fresh, right? They was dressed fresh every day. They would spend all of their money on stuff that didn't matter. All of this stuff, but they was leveraging, and I'm not sure. I would have to guess maybe his mother or something like that, but his mother wasn't even staying there anymore. But they was leveraging that in order to continue to stay there, and even though it was all toe up outside, they was staying there, deadbolting the door and all of this stuff. Why? Because they had no incentive to leave. And so they spent their money on the things that, didn't matter. And so eventually, they pushed and they evolved and they no longer wanted to live like that because they was being influenced by what they had been seeing by other people that was also in the church. And so they was pushed to actually do better for themselves. And they did. They did a phenomenal job. They wound up getting married and all of that stuff. And so I got to salute them. But if it wasn't for that impact and that influence of being around other people that seeing themselves as valuable, then that person would have stayed in the projects. And they'll tell you that they would have stayed in the projects for the entire time. So I believe that what she's saying is true, and also is very difficult to feel sorry for the majority of people that are crying and complaining online because they have the option and the ability to be able to get off. A lot of them, most of them are able-bodied. They sit there and tell you that, oh man, I got a family of 6 and I have, 4 kids and I'm living with my baby daddy and we need. I'm like, what are you talking about? First of all, why did you continue to have kids?
Which is horrific because all the rest of us have figured out a way to live life. All the rest of us have made good decisions to not have children when we couldn't fucking afford it. And I'm sorry, but I'm tired of funding everybody else's lifestyle. I am tired of making good decisions for myself and having to pay the benefits for everybody else who didn't make good decisions in their own lives. Again, are there people out there who made really good decisions and were just put in really shit situations and ended up in a situation where they can't afford shit? Yes, but that is such a small portion, such a minority portion of the individuals who are utilizing our system and are bitching about it right now. Make good decisions. Make good decisions. Have a little bit of savings where you can afford your fucking food. Sell shit. I'm sorry, but if I see you driving around with a car that has leather seats and you are complaining about how you can't afford to feed your kids, sell your fucking car. Get a car that doesn't have fucking leather seats. You can sell your car, even if it's paid off. Fucking sell that shit. Get a hunk of junk that'll at least get you from point A to point B. And fucking figure it out. Stop getting your hair done. Stop getting your lashes done. Stop getting your fucking Botox done or your lip filler done. Jesus Christ. Pick up a second job. Find remote work if you can't afford to take your kids to daycare. There are so many jobs out there. Build a skill. You have your phone. You have the internet at your fucking fingertips. Because if you can post a video, I know you have internet, which means you can develop a skill that can earn you the income to afford these basic fucking necessities. And just to see people give up on life and be like, I just gotta live this way. I'm gonna blame Donald Trump. I just gotta live this way. It's a wild mindset.
It's everybody else's fault. It's Trump's fault, even though he just got in office 10 months ago. It's the economy's fault. It's your parents' fault. It's everybody else's fault but yours. And they be living better than you. They be eating better than you, living better than you. They have all of the designer clothes. Oh, but I got to get my hair cut. So why you going to the barbershop? Why don't you learn to cut your own hair? Oh, no, 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 no. Man, skip that. I got to be fresh. And so people don't want to be honest. And that's the part where I come in, is that I'm an equal accountability smoke giver. I do not make excuses. I understand that I have to do things differently, and it's important for me to do things differently in order to be successful. And so I have to make the sacrifices and, do things that's going to benefit me long term and make better decisions. I can't have children out of wedlock. I can't have 8 baby mamas if I don't want to have to pay child support, if I don't want to be on Section 8 housing, right? Like a lot of these, man, 98, 99% of everything that's going on is a decision. It's a choice. You chose to take out student loans. Pay the motherfuckers back. You chose to do this. You chose to do that. So why has it now become everybody else's responsibility to take care of what you are supposed to be doing? Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off of life. And I always like to give credit to the content creators, so that'll also be down in the description.